The U.S. men's national team beats Bosnia Herzegovina, does what they have to do, and advance to the round of 16, where they would play Belgium in Seattle on Monday. Now, I love the game being in Seattle. Seattle is, in my opinion, the hotbed of American soccer, so the crowd, the home field advantage will be at the highest possible level when we need it the most against Belgium. All right, but first, let's talk about this game. I want to talk about the game, and I'm going to show you all the news and notes that you might have missed, and hopefully you see now, right? All right, so here we go. Game itself, smoked them. Rolled them up, smoked them. Cagey affair at times when the U.S. went down to 10 men. We'll talk about that red card on Folarin Balogun. That's the big story coming out of this game. We'll analyze that. But I thought the U.S. was great. I thought they were fantastic in this game. And this was the biggest game, arguably, in U.S. men's national team history for what it meant. The hosting country. European team, we were 0-10 against European teams going into this game. We have won, I believe, one knockout game in the history of the U.S. men's national team. That was in 2002. Okay, so it's been 24 years. They're facing all of that. The pressure of the world. Again, home field. The crowds, the country roads, take me home. Everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks for these guys. And now it's on them. And we saw what pressure can do to England. I mean, England almost lost to DR Congo. It took a while for them to get going. We saw what pressure can do to teams like Germany. All right, so the U.S. men's national team could have easily played scared, played nervous, played cagey, played reserved, played whatever. They did the opposite. They were on the front foot the whole time. They were pressuring Bosnia the whole time, pushing the whole time, creating chances the whole time. Even when it was scoreless, when it was 0-0, the U.S. was just creating more. They were doing more. They were more active. Bosnia, well, I'm not going to say they were in a low block. They weren't parking the bus, but Bosnia was certainly playing back way more than the U.S. was. And the U.S. was pushing forward and making things happen. When the red card happened, okay, the U.S. could have easily wilted. They could have easily shut it down. They're up 1-0 at that time. They could have said, we just got to get the hell out of here. We got to get out of here. We're down 10 men. We're scared to death. It's a young squad, whatever. They did the opposite. They showed courage. They showed bravery. They pushed. They created more chances. They had basically a 4-4-1 kind of a situation going on. But they were so smart. And it looked like they weren't phased at all. Like I said, if anything, they got better. They played harder. They were more brave. And that's what this team had to do coming into this tournament. Be courageous, be brave, be mature past your years, care about the crest, care about the fact that we're hosting, care about the country. You know, you can't focus on your club teams over in Europe. And they have. And they have to the nth degree. And I'll give them a ton of credit for that. They have done exactly what we asked them to do coming into this tournament. And Mauricio Pochettino, he's the most American person I know. I mean, he went from taking the AC Milan job a couple weeks before the tournament. Is he in? Is he out? Does he care? Whatever. He might care more than anybody in the country. So kudos to this team. I was so proud watching them. I was so proud waking up this morning to be an American. And just great stuff. Great stuff to watch. And I can't wait for the Belgian game. All right, let's go. So this is the red card. All right, so this was it right here. This is the problem with VAR when you re-referee. And like VAR, to me, is supposed to be for offsides, supposed to be for things like that. It's not supposed to be for this. Because when you slow the play down, it's going to look way worse than it is. This is two guys going for the ball and an accidental step on his foot, accidental step on his leg, whatever. It's not a malicious act. At this point, I don't think there had been a yellow. They were really letting him go. I mean, they were reffing this like the NBA Finals. So, and this is kind of slowed down. But you can tell, like, these are just two guys going for the ball, incidental, whatever. But when you slow it down to, frame by frame by frame by frame, and you get to This, and you see the ankle twisted, and you see the, his cleat planted on his ankle. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's just not what it's supposed to be for. Like, this is not a red. This is never a red card, especially a straight red in a game where you haven't been refereeing like this, in a game where you've let everything go. And not to mention, now Balogun is out for the next game. He's out now. He has to miss a game. So on top of this being a bad call for this game, U.S. up 1, 63rd minute, now all of a sudden they got to play down 10 or down a man with 10 men. You've now impacted the next round on just a silly challenge, this is as incident. This is just whoopsie poopsie, two guys going for it, accidental, whatever. This is not a straight red ever in any competition, much less the World Cup, where the team has to turn around and play in 5 days, and now they're down their main striker, right? So it's just, I have not heard a single person, American, European, British, whatever, I have not heard a single person, a single analyst say this is a red. Not one. Look at that. It's so not a red, FIFA themselves should agree, because this was Messi in this tournament doing the exact same thing. Two people going for the ball, and look at Messi's cleat. Right on the back of his leg, stomps down, ankle gets twisted up. This wasn't even a card. This wasn't anything, much less a straight red. Now, moving forward, what I think FIFA should do is they should, just like targeting, I think you can keep the red, whatever, but you should be able to determine if it's worth a suspension, because now it's affecting the tournament. I mean, what happens if Messi picks up a red on some, let's just say this would happen to Messi in the semifinals. Do you really want the World Cup finals to not have Lionel Messi in it? Do you want this random judge to have, or random referee to have that much power on a terrible call? You want a terrible call to possibly impact the entire tournament? It's bad enough it impacted this game, but the fact that it impacts the next round, and now that we're into 16-8, like the fact that we're getting to the top teams here, you can't have this. I'm not asking them to change the rule in the next 24 hours, but this is something that FIFA needs to look at moving forward. Is, do you want a bad call? And I don't think this is more of a penalty than Balogun, because Messi is the only one really kind of going for this. Like Messi's, he's kind of risking it, sticking his leg out, trying to make a play here. This is way worse, I think, than Balogun's. Balogun's, no one has it. Like they're both going for it. They're just running. The ball's moving around. They're running. Things are getting jostled around, whatever. And then, it's just more like an accident. Messi's is more of like him sticking his leg out, trying to do something, and then catching the back of the calf, right? So this is Golazo over there on CBS Sports. They do a good job on their broadcast. This is them talking about the maturity of the U.S. men's national team after the red card.
I just want to go on the
That's my guy, Jimmy Conrad, on the left. Absolute freaking legend right there.
maturity just for 1 second. When the red card happened, as soon as the ref read, go back and watch it. Watch the reaction of Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, Tillman, next to him, nothing, stone-faced.
100%. Exactly what I was saying. I just got goosebumps. Exactly what I was saying. They could have easily just shut it down. Freaked out, eyes wide open. They could have just, oh my God, we're down 1. They're against us. We're going to lose. We're going to blow this, whatever. We're going to play scared. We got to play timid. We can't make a mistake. Nah. They pushed. They pushed and were creative. They got chances. They scored again. Held the clean sheet. Unbelievable. That moment right there showed so much courage in the face of the most pressure they have ever felt in their professional lives. In the face of that much pressure, to be that cool, calm, and collected, and to still be pushing forward. It's one thing to sit back and just say, all right, tighten up. We're not going to push anything, but we're just going to hold court. It's one thing to do that. But for them to say, you know what, we're still going to push. We're still going to take chances when we can. We're still going to, send balls forward and make runs and things like that. I was just so impressed.
Gave I think it was Pulisic. Gave him a hug.
He said, "We got your back."
We got your back, man. It was, for me, it was the most telling moment in the game, because how many times do you see guys just going after that, and then you lose your shit after that, right? You lose your mind right after that. Calm as could be, man. I loved every second of it. Loved 100%. Every second of it.
100%. Couldn't agree more. All right, we'll keep it moving here. This is, let's go. I have another red card thing. I should have done this, but this is Mauricio Pochettino on the red.
Watching after on TV, and never was the intention to step up of the player. That was a normal action in football that happened because by accident, and it's never intentional. That is why for me, it's never red card.
Yeah, never a red. Never a red. Never a red. Easiest thing in the world. All right, let me make sure I don't have anything else on the red. I should have done this better, but it is what it is. All right, so let's keep moving. All right, so this, again, Weston McKennie was so good in this game, and he has been so good in this tournament. He has been electric. His cardio must be on a whole different level. He's nonstop. He's the only player to play in every game. He didn't sit out when the rest of the team did. So this, I can't get enough of this. I am lapping this stuff up. The pride in not only the country, but in the soccer team and in this tournament, and how the players are responding and the fans are responding and the announcers are responding. It's just such a far cry from a lot of what you see in social media and the news and whatever else. But it's also a far cry from how sports have been treated in international competition. I mean, we remember the Women's World Cup, where our own players were protesting the country, or our own players were protesting the crest and protesting the badge. And, they were bringing things not soccer and not sport into the sport. And I know for a lot of people, it ruined the experience of watching it. These guys are doing exactly what they should do. Make this about soccer. Make this about the tournament. Make this about the fans who have shelled out a ton of money to support you and go to these games. And kudos to the fans as well. I was worried about this game being in San Francisco, kind of a wine and cheese crowd. I was wished this would have been in, Kansas City or Seattle or another one of these hotbeds of domestic soccer. And San Francisco was slow to get into the game. But once they got into the game, I would say around the 30th minute or so, they were really good. And they really got into it. They were the 11th man. They were, when Balogun got sent off and they were down to 10, the crowd stepped up and became the 11th. And especially in the last 20 minutes, there wasn't a person sitting down in the stadium. And, my hat's off to you. I know Seattle will pop off next round, but I was very impressed with what San Francisco did in this game. But this is after the game. So after the game, they play Country Roads. They play Freebird. They play the Take My Hand. Classic Elvis. They play those after the game. It's beautiful. This is... Here we go. I mean, look at this. Deserve it. Deserve it for everyone involved. Deserve it for McKennie. Deserve it for Sebastian Berhalter behind them. Deserve it for the crowd to be getting this respect. It's a two-way thing. And I love bringing on Sebastian Berhalter later in the game. He is a ball of energy. He is perfect to bring on in the 75th, 80th minute. I mean, they're having fun. They're having fun. They're enjoying this. And I don't mean the players, but I do mean the players. The fans as well. The viewers at home. The broadcasters, the announcers. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's enjoying this World Cup. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. All right. Again, this. I want to see more of this. When they shoot out, when they, do crowd shots, and I see this, I get fired up. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Let's do it. Let's get the soccer culture in America where it needs to be. And this run from the U.S. men's national team, I said it 3 weeks ago leading up to the tournament. This is what's at stake. All right, a failure from the U.S. men's national team in this tournament would have set domestic soccer back maybe to a point where it would never recover. It's done the opposite. Their success, their fun, their bravery, their courage, their willingness to push forward, their bravado on the field, it has catapulted domestic soccer, I think, to that next level, especially if they beat Belgium. This is exactly what the country needed. This is exactly what the MLS needs. It's exactly what the NWSL needs. It's exactly what needs to happen here. 100%. All right, this was Malik Tillman. So after the red card, U.S. goes down to 10 men. In the 81st minute, Tillman gets a free kick on the outside of the box. Difficult spot, really close to the box. The closer you are, the more difficult this gets. The kick, there's a sports science on the kick. This is the sports science of how difficult the kick was.
America's midfielder, Malik Tillman, may have just scored one of
the song was in NBA Street Volume 2. I used to play the holy hell out of that game.
the most difficult free kicks in U.S. World Cup history. Only 20 yards out, almost no runway, inches over the wall, with rare side/topspin pulling it under the bar. Let's break down the sports science. The wall is about 10 yards away. The crossbar only 8 feet high, and the
Yeah, you got to get the ball over the wall, but not too high because it still has to dip down into the
ball
goal.
has almost no runway to climb, clear, then drop. This is what makes it ridiculous. Tillman's not 30 yards out with room to float it. He's only about 20 yards from the goal line. This increases the degree of difficulty. Watch the strike. Tillman doesn't blast with straight laces. He opens the right foot, uses the inside medial instep, and hits the lower outer ball. That gives him control, but the key is the follow through. His foot doesn't just go through the ball, it brushes up and across it. That creates
So
a
crazy.
hybrid
The
spin.
technique is
Part
nuts.
side spin, so it bends.
Yeah, and then it's rolling over. You can see it rolling over so that it dips.
Part top spin, so it dives. This isn't just a chip. A chip hangs. This ball climbs just enough, then spin helps pull it back down. Now, watch the wall angle. A regulation ball is about 69 centimeters around. Divide by pi, about 22 centimeters, or 8.6 inches wide. In this frame, it appears to clear the defender's head only by inches, possibly less than 1 inch visually. Tillman basically fits a full-size ball through a gap that looks smaller than the ball itself. Because the wall screens the flight, the keeper sees it late. By the time he reacts,
Yeah, I need more from the keeper here if you're Bosnia, but whatever.
it's already dipping towards the near post. He gets fingertips on it, but
Strong hands, son. I mean,
spin, placement, and margin beats him. Contact point, spin axis, wall clearance, late dip, and pressure. Solved in one strike. The first United States knockout stage direct free goal on record since 1966. Somebody give my man Tillman an honorary doctorate in physics.
unbelievable. This is what's happening in domestic soccer. This is why it's important. Moments like this, a whole new generation. Unreal. All right, let's see, what else do we have here? So we have, so this is Potch after the game with Country Roads. Look at Potch. Again, this is what we asked. Care. Just care. Care about this. Care about us. Care about the soccer culture. Care about America. And he has 100%. Kudos to Potch. This is some goal reactions. So this was in Kansas City. All right, we'll take a look at this. I love the goal reactions. This is in Kansas City. The game's in San Francisco. It's happening. We're becoming a soccer country. It's happening. It's happening. Where else? Oh, this is Washington. Is that the American Mall? Look at that. Nothing brings people together like sports. Nothing. This is Philly. Philadelphia, across the country. What else you got? San Jose. Beautiful San Jose. Another hotbed, the earthquakes. This is 1-0 too. This was the 1-0. People are in each other's arms. Sunny San Jose, man. Shout out Chris Wondolowski. They show the 2-0. That was just 1-0. And and then Washington, Philly. All right, there you go. So I love to see it, man. Keep supporting. Be proud of your team. Be proud of the team. Buy jerseys. Support them. Do what you got to do. All right, this is Potch after the game talking about the legacy that these guys are leaving.
This guy are creating a legacy in this country, and with that amazing fans, everything is possible.
Thank you so much.
Why not us? Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us? Why not us? F it. Believe. Believe. And he's right. They are leaving a legacy. Potch already has the most wins in World Cup history for a U.S. manager. I mean, he's already that. Shout out Bruce Arena. He's already that. And I get upset thinking about him leaving. You know, I get upset thinking about him not coaching this team because of what he has instilled in these players and what these players and this team is instilling in this country. So, I mean, I love him like a brother. And this is Alexi Lawless talking about. And speaking of Alexi, I cannot wax poetic enough about how good of a job the broadcast has been across the board for this World Cup. Whether it is Alexi, Thierry Henry, Zlatan, and Rebecca, whether it's Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan and Carly Lloyd and Rob Stone, or whether it's whoever, you know, whether it's Jimmy Conrad and the boys over at Galazzo, unbelievable job on the broadcast for this World Cup. They're doing such a good job.
Mossy, sometimes coaches and international coaches in particular are kind of mercenary.
Yeah.
And
I was concerned about this, honestly. And I have been concerned about this with the U.S. And even back to Jurgen Klinsmann, I always thought it would be better to get a coach from the MLS or from America, someone like Peter Vermees, someone like Caleb Porter, someone, you know, I did at one point think Oscar Vallejo would have been good. He coached FC Dallas at the time. But I was always concerned about this mercenary thing where a coach would come in, coach for a World Cup cycle. They wouldn't really understand, because you also got to think about this. And this is a unique part to the U.S. when it comes to soccer culture. The U.S. is maybe the only team, I can't think of another country off the top of my head, where soccer is not the main sport. It's not a big deal here. It's certainly not as big of a deal as it is everywhere else. It's not even a top 3 sport. It might not even be top 4 in the country. So for a coach coming in from England or Spain or Argentina or Portugal or even Italy or Germany, or that is not even, they can't believe that. You know, they can't understand that. So it's part the X's and O's, but it's also part of truly understanding American soccer culture and what it needs, what it currently has, where it's been, and where it needs to be. And that's hard to do if you come in as just a mercenary. I'm just going to coach for one World Cup cycle. I'm worried about the X's and O's. You know, I'm not going to worry about the culture part at all. And so I've always thought, well, you know, even Jesse Marsch. I wanted Jesse Marsch to be the head coach of the U.S. men's national team back before they hired Greg Berhalter. And Marsch is a great coach, and Marsch would have done a great job. But Potch is doing that. Potch does understand the assignment. He does understand what the culture is, what the culture needs, and how to get the best out of this team.
I think what came through in Tom Rinaldi's piece on Pochettino, where he goes to his hometown, speaks to his mom and dad, is the pride that they feel, not because he is an international coach, but specifically because he is a coach of the United States. And you saw his mother get very emotional about it. And we were talking about this on the post-game show. I think Mauricio Pochettino has grown into the American culture. And I think we have embraced him, but I think he has equally embraced up, and maybe even more so.
100%. And that's why I showed him with the country roads. He does it after every game. He does this with the fans after every game. He cares. I just gave myself goosebumps again. He cares. He really cares about the fans, the players, the culture, whatever. He is not just coaching for the 90 minutes. I mean, he is skyrocketing up my list of like favorite coaches ever, just across any sport.
And he has immersed himself and tried to understand it. I think he has gained a tremendous amount of respect for what we are.
Yeah.
And I think he a tremendous amount of knowledge for what we aren't as a soccer playing nation. And I think he has kind of harnessed all of that to try to get the best out of it. But to see where he came from and to see the pride that he feels, this is anything but a mercenary. I think even if he were to leave after this World Cup, which is a likely thing, I think he is going to take a piece of America with him.
Absolutely.
Not just by what happened on the field, but by this whole experience.
100%. Alexi nailed it. He nailed it right there. No doubt about that. What else we got? Okay, this team is special in changing the culture of soccer in America. This is from the broadcast. We'll go ahead and listen to this.
And I want to also just say, not only
couple of dogs down here, Guzan, Sasha Kleshtin, Mauricio Adu.
Out of this team and give all the credit to this team and the coaching staff. But
Mauricio Adu. Just calling everybody Mauricio now.
Team players. In many ways, you guys have impacted this program, and you guys have built the roads for this and have impacted it in some way. So I just want to say, from a USA fan myself, you guys are former players, that congratulations. Like, this is massive. So soak it in. Soak it in.
Thanks, Mel.
Yeah, appreciate that, but honestly, it's
about these guys.
This journey is about this group, man. This is a thing of beauty, and it's not even finished, right? And I think that's the most beautiful part, is that this ride, so many more people are hopping on this train right now.
Exactly.
And I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And, you know, just these players being serenaded with this love from this fan base, from the opponent, from us, it's well-deserved. And, I mean,
Look at Poch, just hugging everybody.
It's not often that I'm, like, at a loss for words, but in this moment, as I'm watching these players, as I'm watching Pochettino, as I'm watching Mark McKenzie lead them through a moment of prayer, I
just want to soak it in right now.
Yeah.
That honestly is how I feel. I just want to soak it in after every game, during the game, pre-game, post-game. Just want to soak it all in.
We're in these moments. We're in these moments, and I think more than anything, when you think about what this moment in the stadium is doing for the sport in this country,
100%.
Talk about iconic moments, Sash. It's nights like tonight that change the culture of the sport forever. And so to be a part of it, to be here, it's amazing.
I mean, there are plenty of kids that will watch this game and go in the backyard and try to hit that exact free kick.
1,000,000% Sasha Kleshtin just gave me goosebumps. I mean, I can't even imagine how many people are driving to their local sporting goods store or wherever and getting a soccer ball. How many kids want a goal in the backyard now? How many kids want to? I want to play soccer. I want to. Can we go out in the backyard and kick the ball around? I got a soccer ball, and I'm like going to go to City Park and kick the soccer ball around. You know, like it sounds like a lot, but it really is changing the culture of an entire sport. And if they beat Belgium and face Spain or Portugal or Croatia or whoever in the final 8, I mean, it's just, I can't even imagine the scene. I cannot even imagine the scenes if they beat Belgium.
When you talk about iconic, I thought it would be Christian Pulisic's moment, but I think that one is still to come in this tournament. Malik Tillman today with that iconic moment. Kids will be in their backyard momentarily trying that free kick, setting up something that they got to hit the ball over.
Look at Pochettino.
And so awesome. Like, for Pochettino, not an American guy, only been in the States for a couple of years, and he's really taken to our culture. And when you talk about just making a difference and bringing new fans, I had a friend who came to this game today. He's 44 years old. He went to his first soccer game today, and it was this. He is hooked for life.
Yeah, he's a soccer fan for life. I know people who just started watching, and they love it, and they should. It's awesome. And I you know what else I love about the broadcast? I love that they went and got players and analysts and whatever that love the sport, love the country, love the team, love what's happening. They are so prideful. They are bursting with joy. Like Sasha's like emotional here. You know, these guys, like Alexi is emotional on the broadcast. Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan, they're emotional on the broadcast. Carly Lloyd, emotional on the broadcast. They're proud of the team. They're proud of the host country. They're proud of the supporters. They're proud of the American Outlaws. That's just been such a breath of fresh air. Even Thierry Henry and Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Rebecca Lowe, they're not American, but they're all about it. And it's just been such a positive experience for all the countries. And it's been such a, whoever made the decision of, hey, look, let's just make this a really positive broadcast. Let's just make this fun. Let's make this about sport. Let's make this about the supporters and the players and the countries and the coaches and the stories. Whoever made that decision at Fox, kudos to you. Kudos to you. I mean, every single country. It's just an absolute blast watching these games. So, amazing stuff.
Something that they got to hit the ball over.
Look at Pochettino.
And so awesome. Your game today, and it was this. He is hooked for life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. GG's. Monday, Belgium in Seattle. No Balogun. He is suspended for the game, but someone will have to step up. And who will leave their mark on that game? Belgium's absolutely beatable. They were lucky to get by Senegal. They were down 2-0 with like 85 minutes played. And they had a penalty at the very end of the game to win it. But it's on to Seattle. On to Seattle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I will see you in the next video. Peace.